Good morning, Kingman Family Worship Center. I wanted to take a moment and bring you a word for today. Paul said to the Philippian church, he said, "Hey, I am confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ." And so I want to share this thought with you, that I'm confident that God is not done with you. A lot of times we feel like, why would God continue to work with me, and especially if you have been struggling or fighting temptations in your life, you say, well, why would God continue to speak to me or move in me? And then the enemy tries to push you to a place of saying, what is the use of continuing? But I want you to understand something. What you're perceiving now, your perception is not your potential. You need to understand that. Your perception is not your potential. God has always called us to a greater task than we can accomplish by ourselves. He has not called you to accomplish something that you can do without Him, that you can move forward in your own might. It requires a close and tender relationship with God to overcome. Gideon didn't win the battle by himself. Samson didn't win the battle by himself. Moses didn't win the battle by himself. Joshua didn't win the battle by himself. David didn't conquer the giant and win battles by himself. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel did not overcome by themselves. It is God's involvement in their life that brought about great miracles in their life. And so the enemy wants you to feel like God's done with you, but God is far from done with you. He's still working on you. He's still molding you and shaping you. And more importantly, God still loves you. And that's something that you need to sink into your soul, into your heart, that if God loves you, He don't just so easily throw away what He worked so hard to obtain by sending His Son to die on the cross. So we need to be confident of this thing, that God is still working on us, and that what we perceive today in our life is not our potential. God has something greater He's doing in our life, and God's working these things out. You know, in the face of the coronavirus in our country now, and all the uncertainty that's around us, one thing is for sure: God is still working in your life, and God is still moving, and the coronavirus is no match for God. Just like the Red Sea was no match for God, just like hunger is no match for God, just like sin is no match for God, just like the devil is no match for God. And if God is in you and with you, you need to understand that your potential is greater than what you see right now or what you feel right now. Maybe you feel defeated. Maybe you feel alone or forsaken, but you're not. You're far from that. Matter of fact, in some of the most difficult times of your life, that is when God is the closest. It's harder for us to perceive Him or to sense His presence because we're so consumed in the circumstances that are surrounding us. But if you just take a moment and just close your eyes for a moment and say, "Oh God, I know You're here. Can I just for a moment feel and sense Your presence?" And God will surely be there with you. Remember this: what you perceive is not your potential. And I'm confident of this thing: God's not done with you. I hope this blesses you this morning. God bless you. Have a wonderful day today.